welcome back. This is Friend in Your Pocket Conversations with you, Hope Nation. I don't know what episode this is, and that's a good thing. I've lost track. Totally. I don't even try anymore. Today we're starting off somewhat of a somber, not somewhat, it's a somber day. Yesterday on August 21st, my mom, our family lost their pastor, Reverend Dr. Johnny G. McCann Sr. McCann. I always do that. Forgive me. He's from the St. Luke's Baptist Church in Harlem. He's world renowned. He's known all over, and he was just a great man. And since my mother is a senior here, and she had the longest experience with him, I want her to just talk about. Well, first let's just talk about this: how ministry is a killer for a lot of reasons. I don't care what your ministry is. When it's something that you put your heart and soul into, and you're dealing with people and bureaucracy and paperwork and money and all that stuff, it's a lot of stress on you. And unfortunately, he died of a massive heart attack. And they were on a cruise, everyone was having fun, celebrating life, celebrating his birthday that just passed, and this was the unfortunate outcome. And this is because people are stressed out. And when you are a minister, a preacher, a motivational speaker, a helper, a mother, a father, anything that requires you to put your all into it, stress really can kill you. And we have to stop acting like that's not the truth. We see it too many times. I don't care if you're physically fit. I don't care if you're not. If you're stressed out, it's going to catch up to you one way or another. And we have to start honoring those people who put their life and just everything into everything that they have. The sacrifices that are made to be in any kind of ministry is incredible. And it's not, everyone doesn't get rich. Everyone isn't a Joel Osteen or what's the Creflo Dollar, TD Jakes. Everybody doesn't make it like that. But you got people that wake up every single day, and ministry is all they do from sun up to sundown, and people will call you 24 hours. It's a 24-hour thankless job. So I just want her to talk a little bit about the great man of God that we lost yesterday. And there you go, Mama Pocket.
Good evening, Hope Nation. It's really a sad day because we lost a great teacher, preacher, friend, covenant brother. He was just an all-around good guy. I met him. I was fortunate to meet him through my mother in 1999, where I joined the St. Luke Nation Baptist Church. And he helped me to put my life back on track, along with Kawana, Friend in Your Pocket. He always motivated everybody to do better. He taught you the Bible, and he taught it to you so that you could get it and work. His main thing was the word will work if you work it. So you have to put a lot into it: prayer, fasting, reading, studying, and he taught us how to do that. So it is my prayer that with all his teaching, all the workshops, that somebody will pick up the mantle and not let what he was striving for go down the tube. That the St. Luke Nation will be rebuilt, that they will get a building and a place to worship. He died trying to make the vision come to fruition. So, that's all we can say is please keep the vision going. All that he poured into you Sunday after Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. We should be able to keep this church going. We got to stick together. We got to unite and not fight one another. We got to respect whatever leadership is in place and back them up, because he was truly a good man. My prayer is for his wife, Tishlin Mccann, a sweetheart who was side by side with him in ministry. She lost her father about 4 years ago, and now her husband. So she's going to need a lot of prayer, a lot of sisters just rallying around her to help her get through this troubled time, because she was his ride or die. Wherever he went, she went. She gave up her work to follow him in ministry, which was his dream, that his wife would be in ministry for him. There's not a hope. There's a lot I could say about him. I could go on for the rest of the night. One instance is how he treated you like family. He wasn't just your pastor in the pulpit and then you never saw him again. When my mom was battling cancer, He would preach 4 services because I was on the choir, so we went out with him all day on Sunday, and then turn around 11, 12 o'clock at night and go visit my mom in the hospital. And she was telling me, guess who was here? And I didn't have no wig on, Pastor McCann. So he was just great like that. When we got this house, he made a special trip out here to bless it, along with a lot of disciples of the church. He's just continually being there for you. When my mother passed, he preached her homegoing, and he was just a great man, gone too soon, but he worked hard and fiercely, and he did all that he was called to do, and now he has to rest because he was definitely stressed. So to everybody out there, let's bond together. Let's call a new church, not St. Luke anymore, the Johnny G. McCann Ministries. And that would be in honor of him. So I love y'all, and let's keep his family lifted in prayer, his children and his grandchildren, sisters and brothers. Thank you.
Let's give it up for Mr. McCann. Yes, he was a great man, was and is, because his legacy will live on. And when I was trying to get my book published, he was the first person to jump in and try to help me. And he worked with me, and he was really into it. He was really just proud, that somebody else wants to write books and was serious about it. And when the book came out, he let me sell books. Ooh, okay, here we go. He let me sell books in not in the sanctuary, what you call that little place?
In the fellowship room.
In the fellowship room. See, I'm not the church person. She knows all the geography of the church. But I just want to share this with you. One of, what I like to do is when people are smart and they say good things, I like to honor them in my books. I use a lot of different quotes from different people in my books. And I will get to his quote in a minute. But one thing he always said, the passion is in a pursuit. And he said that, and it really touched me because it is. The grind, that's where you're the most passionate. And we forget about that once we get to where we're at. And it would seem like he was always on the pursuit of something, so he always stayed passionate about those things. So that was a lesson to me. If you want to stay passionate, keep on pursuing. Be a life learner. Just keep on going. And part of the book that he is in is Keep On Going, Don't Stop. And the last sermon he preached was Push Past Your Doubters. And he preached that this Sunday before he died while on vacation, on the boat, and he was still preaching and having Sunday service. So that's a testament to how faithful he was to ministry. Okay? So we should all be that faithful to at least something, and not just a relationship, to something that actually has purpose. Not that relationships don't have purpose, because they do. But we should all have a passion and a purpose that lives only in us, and that we don't rely on other people to keep that passion going. So I know it's tough for people, like I said, that are mentors and teachers, because it's no amount of money that can pay you for counseling people 24/7. But I hope this right here and us coming together and talking about him, this helps to lift up people, because his work was not in vain. It didn't fall on deaf ears. Okay? Not over here. So, sleep in power, Pastor. Now, y'all went to church. They were all baptized. Boom, boom. You got baptized, right? In St. Luke's. I joined St. Luke's in what was that year?
No, he didn't.
You didn't get baptized?
They got baptized elsewhere.
Oh, well, Moose did.
Moose and Dede got baptized.
Moose, Dede, and Grandpa. Yeah. I didn't get baptized, but I did join. And that was hard for me because I'm bi-religional. I was raised Muslim, but I always, I love all religions. I love certain parts of every religion. So when I joined, I was up front with them. I stood up in front of the congregation and said, I'm bi-religional. And they accepted me.
And he respected.
Yeah, and that's how church should be, And so I thank him for that again. I thank all of St. Luke's for being great supporters of my mom. And her phone's been ringing all day long. She's been calling, checking in, and she hasn't been physically in church in 5-6 years? 8 years, wow. But she stayed that connected to the church. So that's how it is. You shouldn't have to always be in the church, because you are the church,
Amen.
And they embody that, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Is there anything about church that you remember more? And we'll move on. Because he used to go to church all by himself, get on the train and go to church. I'm so proud of him.
I guess if one thing it taught me discipline. Just by waking up, you know, grandma leave out first, but just not wanting to go. Like when you don't want to go to church when you don't have an option, but when you do have the option, you don't mind going. So I guess as I got older and I had the option, I would just feel like I would just need to go. So, but I guess it just taught me discipline.
Yeah.
That's it.
Proud of you.
And actually believing in something.
Because he used to always ask for prayer.
Yeah.
Before a test or something was going wrong in school.
She had to bless his pencils.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it taught. Man, something bugging out. It taught me discipline and, you know, something I already have, but like I said, believing in something and, you know, prayer.
That's right. And we got a little visitor on the side here. He's not on the camera, but he was an active member of St. Luke's. Anthony, my brother. So, you want to say anything? They can hear you.
You hear me? Well,
No. This is not an Anthony story. What is one thing? Yeah, go.
I appreciated the church, and I like John G. Mccann. You know, he always made me feel welcome and invited, and you know, that's it. It was a nice experience.
Yeah, well, it was nice to have a place where, you know, because a lot of times, you know, when I wanted to get into church, well, I started going. It's funny because when I was 12, I wanted to be baptized, even though I was Muslim, right? And then I went to the church across the street from where we live, which is St. Matthew's. And then, as I got older, I stopped going to church. I would go to church through funerals, which was the crazy thing. I mean, I went to everybody's funeral, and that's how I got church, because I would look on obituary, like, see this preacher, like, oh yeah, I like him, you know, and I would sit and I would listen, and that's how I got all my church in as a young adult. So then I wanted to go back because I kept saying, like, if anything ever happened, you know, to me, who would preach over me, you know? Right. And it was always a question for me, you know, so that's why I started going with Mom to St. Luke's, and it did so much good for her. I'm like, well, you know, I could go, you know, but she was a fanatic. She was a Bible toting fanatic, you know. She didn't want to hear rap music no more. She had got going completely insane. But I went there and I liked it. You know, I liked the fact that she had all this family and whatnot, and it felt good. It just wasn't something that I needed to do every Sunday, but it felt nice to know on Easter's and Mother's Days and New Year's Eve services, they get dressed up in the camouflage and they be
battle.
Yeah, go to war in the church. I love that part of it. So, you know, hopefully with the new church opening, you know, we will be back. And that's what Moose said. It gives you a certain type of discipline. You know, it gives you something to look forward to. Puts you around other people. So, you know, even if you're not somebody who's Christian or in the church or whatever, it's just nice to be in a spiritual community. Even if they leave church and act crazy afterwards, for that hour and a half, or if you stay for every 3 hours, if you stay for every service, you're in a safe environment, you know, and it takes you away from that mundane reality we all have to deal with. So I think all the spiritual leaders all across the land, shout out to, what do we call him, Reverend Ferguson now? He's a bishop? Bishop Reverend Ferguson. I can't stop saying Reverend Ferguson. But Darren Ferguson, he married me and my husband. He came from under Calvin Butts and Johnny G. McCann. And I just, you know, that's another person that we should be looking and lifting up in prayer as he moves forward. He's traveling somewhere. He was talking about 30 hours.
Oh, wow.
So, moving on, I just want to talk a little bit about the state of music. That light is so freaking hot. It feels like I'm cooking.
It's about to cool down.
Shut up. You felt it? Okay, so we're gonna this is gonna be a quick show. We have the state of music, it's getting too killing. We're killing everybody. And we've had another unfortunate act of violence. Rapper T Grizzly. Do you want to report it?
You can report it, yeah.
What?
So T Grizzly was, he wasn't shot, but his client shot and killed that day.
Oh no. What you mean it's a
About the house.
Huh?
Just pause it. And
Okay, we have to pause, guys. It's raining. The elements are not on our side today. Pause it. See you in a minute. And we're back. Yeah, it's a little struggly show. It happens. You know, we're low budget. Ain't nobody paying no bills over here. It started raining. Stuff was blowing everywhere. The light was getting real hot. Shout out to Beyonce. You need a diva fan under the lights. So, we were talking about T Grizzly, Detroit rapper, right? He's from Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
What was that song he had? Everybody did a remix of Moose.
First day out.
First day out. How did that go again? You remember?
Wow, I wasn't really a fan of it.
I like that song. It had like he was like kind of rapping like Ghostface. He was off beat, but he was riding the beat, but it was off beat. So first day out, T Grizzly or whatever. He talks about his getting locked up and beating these charges and whatnot. And now it all comes down to this: his aunt, who is his manager, was shot to death in his car. In his Cadillac Escalade. Apparently, someone tried to kill him, thought he was in the car, and they killed his aunt. She got shot several times, and I guess she died on the scene. Rest in peace to her. I think we fail to realize that hip-hop is a very dangerous job. I think it's one of the most dangerous jobs you can have. So when you have a family member who's an artist and they're on the road and stuff, yeah, there's a lot of nonsense going on, but they're in danger. It's like no laughing matter. So when people, it's like going to war. And this is somebody who was in his own hometown. So imagine if they feel like that about you in your hometown, like Nipsey, you know, how people feel about you abroad. And this is what brings me back to the lyrics, because so many people are killing people in their songs. They're tough. They're throwing little innuendos and subs at people. And when you come and visit or you go back home, some people take that personal and they want to test your jaw. And not only do they want to test your jaw, they want to kill you. So, you know, there's this running argument in hip-hop about keeping it real and should you go back home. I just almost the other day, 50 Cent had the right idea. You know, kind of got to act the hood until you can get your security under... Yeah, you know, you got to get your security together. You cannot be in the hood with $100,000 chain on in a car. You just was on TV. People are in their feelings because you get to leave and they're stuck. It's like visiting somebody in jail and you're teasing them or whatever. So I'm sorry, you know, it's just especially if you come and you know you just made it out by the skin of your teeth, it would not be wise or permissible for you to go back and just be hanging out. And I don't even know if that's what he was doing, but have somebody meet you on the other side of town, you know, but I'm sorry, and Detroit it is. Detroit is a tough city. It's the motor city. It's always been tough. So my prayers go out to him and his family, and I know he has to be feeling an tremendous amount of guilt. You know, this is his aunt. She was only 41 years old.
his manager as well.
Yeah, I said that.
Well, that's important.
He's lost his business manager. I'm sorry. The millennial, yeah. I didn't even know she was listening to me. But yeah, as I apply my lip gloss, my heart really goes out to him because he, like she said, he lost his business. Somebody who we can really trust. You know, his auntie. You know, aunties. We always got our nephews back. You know, our nieces, because they are like our second children. So he lost a mother figure on top of that. So, and I don't even know his parental situation if he had parents or whatever. So just know that hip hop is a dirty game. So I can understand when people get upset about people who play with hip hop, because I've seen so many people die over hip hop and the love of hip hop. So when somebody comes in just to make a play song just to get some quick dough or whatever, that kind of infuriates me because there was bloodshed. And I talked about this early on in the podcast. There was bloodshed on the floor for the sake of hip hop. So it's really not a laughing matter. And the fact is, should it be that dangerous to just sing some songs? Arnold Schwarzenegger never had to worry about being shot at. He was Rambo. Nobody ever wanted to really see if he really was Rambo. You know what I'm saying? Like,
come on, he was the Terminator.
No, he was Rambo too. He wasn't.
Yeah.
That was Sylvester Stallone. I'm so sorry. I'm like, yes, he was. Wayne Childs getting on. Well, him too. Nobody wanted to know if he was the Eraser or the Terminator in Rambo or Rocky Balboa. You can play all these parts as a Caucasian person. You can say stuff you want to in songs, and they don't have those problems because they come from the suburbs, most of them, and they can go back home because their hoods are cool, But we come from some strange places, and the things that we go through has been indoctrinated into our people. It's in our DNA. Unfortunately, to do these things to one another when we make it out. So shout out to everybody who makes it out and stays out. You're not a sellout, you're just being safe. It's just the way it has to be. I'm sorry. So any thoughts, Moose? Since you're the resident male on board. How do you feel about hip hop lyrics? Do you feel like it influences people's personalities?
Yeah, that's just like if somebody and just like out in the streets, regular, if you're playing basketball and somebody's just talking tough or whatever, they saying what they gonna do and stuff like that, you kind of, I think the other side of you kind of, if you depending on who you are, you kind of want to test that. So in the songs, if you dissing other people's dead homies or just talking about what you would do and stuff like that, people want to see if you really like that. So, I mean, it's sad, but you know how you say you put it in the universe, it's going to come back. So, if you always talk about it, it's, you're going to get tested. You don't know when or how, but it's going to happen. So, I mean, I feel bad, because at the end of the day, whatever was meant for him and probably didn't have nothing to do with her.
Right.
It was just the fact that she was his man to his aunt and she just happened to be with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sad. It's crazy.
So do you feel like, would you listen to hip hop if it didn't? Because
Yes.
well, we know you would. But
And what if everybody did it? Then it would be cool.
It was a time, and I'm so happy and blessed that I grew up in a time where everybody wasn't killing people. And hip hop was fun, and you could wear polka dots, and you could flip and dance, and it was cool. And you was learning, you know what I'm saying? But yesterday was KRS-One's birthday. Shout out to KRS-One. You must learn. Like you learn in records. Like if kids learned at that rapper right now, they would be at Google learning all these different names that he was spitting out in his songs, and they would know more. I learned a lot about being Afrocentric through hip hop, and I think Melly Mel and the Furious Five, The Message, my favorite hip hop record of all times. Of what it did for us as a people. It was cool to talk about what was going on in your neighborhood, whether you had drunks and pimps and prostitutes or whatever. But it was always that resounding theme of hope and making it out and elevating yourself and learning. And these guys wasn't even making a fraction of the money that these guys are making now. And they say, oh, KRS-One is so angry. This one is angry. Hell yeah, they angry. KRS-One lost his DJ early on. DJ Scott LaRock, rest in peace. He got killed for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So, of course he's going to be angry. He was teaching the masses, and he doesn't have that money. He deserved that money that these kids have now. A kid could come out on YouTube, SoundCloud, and be a millionaire in 3 months. And these guys, I don't know if they touch millions or whatever, but they're not getting that kind of money. And these kids are not even teaching the other kids anything about how to be dumb.
Trash.
So my question to the millennials, would you listen? Because in my car, I like music, and I do curse. I'm not going to sit here and I don't curse. I got a potty mouth, I told you that. However, when I listen to music, I really don't want to hear the P word, the D word. It's just certain things I just don't want to hear. So when I put on Apple on there, because I don't have Apple on the Android, I want to hear the unexplicit version. So Moose likes to hear curses, I know. And his father definitely do. Like, we be arguing like, why you need to hear the curses? So my question to the millennials, would you listen to hip hop if it didn't have curses or killing or twerking and busting it open for a real one? Like, would that still interest you? Yeah.
I don't care about the curses. Just these dudes curse so much
Oh, to blame
If
it out.
if you listen to the edited version, it's like you're not even listening to nothing. It's like you listening. So
the music is nothing.
yeah.
Right.
So I don't mind listening to music without curses. If they could fill in another word, I don't care. As long as the beat, you know, I'm more so the beat. If
Right.
the beat catch me, and then, you know, if you are saying something, then I like the song. But other than that, it don't have to be
Does
curses.
you have to be killing people?
Well,
Did you miss it?
Nah.
Because you like to get hyped. Like when he used to play basketball. Like
Yeah, but I
plays.
don't get hype off of killing. I don't
Yeah, you get hyped off the beat.
Yeah, just the beat, like, and then how a person's flowing on the beat.
Yeah.
I don't really care about like you
What
killing
they're
people.
saying.
Yeah, like I
So
don't care.
Pop Smoke, I'm a thought, give me lit. Y'all know what
That's just a funny song.
One of
It's a
them.
catch. Yeah.
10 niggas like he's
It's
killing
more
somebody.
rhythm.
Yeah, I know he killed mad people, but in
In
the
the
song.
song.
Yeah, so I mean I don't. It's just the beat and how a person flowing on the beat.
So,
But if a song is catchy, it's catchy.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And I, you know, and I understand, you know, the whole Jermaine Dupri debate about the stripper rap, because it is getting kind of tight. Now, I like all the girls. I want to see all the girls win, but I don't think they need to be pee-popping and all of this for the songs. They could really be, because women, we set the songs, right? And like they had the Cucumber Fest in Atlanta. Like, how crazy was that? Oh, did you see that?
I didn't know there was a fest. I only saw
It
the
was
one
it was
girl.
a pool party.
And I stopped watching it as soon as I saw what was happening.
Yeah, it was crazy. But that she's laughing. It's the state of the music. Like with girls are, you know, I was in the nail salon today. Everybody got their body done. Everybody
looks the same.
Everybody looks the same. Everybody got a big butt. Everybody got a little waist. Everybody just looks the same, and everybody's doing the same thing. So I'll talk about it in the children's book. If we copycat it the right way, then we can change this whole thing. Now, there's nothing wrong with having your body being physically fit and your body done and all that. There's nothing wrong with that. But what's next after that? Like you got your body fixed, you getting a tattoo on your butt, a weed playing on your butt, all type of stuff drawn on you, and then your ultimate goal is to go to a pool party or something like that and meet a rapper or a ball player. Like that can't be the end game. You know what I'm saying? And be an Instagram model so you can get somebody to slide in your DM so you can get, you know, flued out. Like that just can't be who we doing right here. Like I like city girls. I like anybody getting their money. But what is the end game here? What are we teaching these young girls? That this is what they're doing now. We got the show Beyond the Pole, and I kind of get with the producer who's behind this. She's a black woman who's been down in the game for a long time. Right. So I get what she's doing because you want to show that. Because what happens is it becomes a race against appropriation. Because if you don't do it as a black person, somebody white is going to tell your story, and they probably won't tell the story the way you would. So I get why people race to put out things that are in our culture. But okay,
she's trying to get them to see what's after the pole.
Yeah, beyond the pole.
Right.
So what's going to happen next? So you got little girls that want to grow up and become strippers. I'm not even going to lie to you. So that was one of my things on my bucket list, to be just swing around the pole. I can't do that no more. So that's off the bucket list. But why was that in my mind? Right? Because I was told about Atlanta from an early age and the strip clubs, how the girls can make their butt clap. And for some reason, I was intrigued with that. So I know, and I'm strong-minded, so I know if it intrigued me, somebody who is in special ed, somebody who has low self-esteem, somebody got a flat stomach and a butt and been blessed with a nice body, that's going to be the easiest thing for them to do. So as soon as I can get 18, I'm going to give me some high heels and go work in the strip club. And one of the girls said she'd been in the strip club since she was 15, I think. Even young, a little younger than that. So I don't know, guys. You know, we have to change the lyrics. Because if we change it, the world will change with us. We created hip-hop. We created this thing. We create the words that go in the dictionary now. We create marketing campaigns. We create revenue for other people. So we got to control what is going into the youth. And I don't want to sound like a preachy activist and all of that, but I think it's the truth.
Well, they're trying to take them down. Because enough of this and that music is going to be history.
Yeah.
I don't think that can last like this.
What? This
All
music?
This music is crazy.
Well, that's what they said about rap music back in the 80s. And now look, it's bigger than rock and roll. But if we keep going, it's just gonna keep going.
Oh.
I
don't know.
So like I said, I'm about everybody getting their chicken, but let's stop killing each other a little bit in the songs. Let's stop twerking and let's drop some knowledge. Because I understand me, I get put in that crazy ass algorithm when no one sees me because apparently I teach too much. I get that. So they want you to add some stupidity with knowledge. And you can do that because look at Cardi B has done that successfully, right? She is interviewing Bernie freaking Sanders, a well-respected politician who is again running for president. Cardi B. Right. Who would have ever thought? I used to watch her videos on Instagram before she got on to Love and Hip Hop. And I was like, who is this potty mouth girl? She always be in the back of a cab, leaving the strip club, arguing and mad somebody did something to her. And now look, I don't even think 4 years later, this is where she's at. So that's how powerful hip hop is. That's how powerful the words that come out of our mouth is. And they don't care whether she curses or whether she's raunchy or just sometimes just downright just nasty. They don't care. That's how powerful. They will totally overlook all of that. So what if we change the narrative?
They saying she could be in government.
Yeah. Yeah.
That she's so knowledgeable about it.
Mm-hmm. And that's the trick. Young girls don't understand that, or young guys don't understand that she's smart. She's not just some dummy who she has a gimmick. Yeah. She's like McDonald's at this point. She's manufacturing. She's giving you what you want like Burger King. She's letting you have it your way. If you want her to do this, she can do this. If she want, that's amazing. Shout out to Cardi B. She's from the Bronx. So, I mean, that's just a part of it. It goes into this mentorship and how we have these great people over here fighting for our souls and fighting for our salvation. And then we have the people that make it out the hood, make it bigger than our leaders, our real leaders, right? Our spiritual leaders, our teachers, all that. They make it bigger. They make more money. But there have to be some balance, And I hope one day that music kind of goes back to its roots of teaching and our oral culture of being griots and giving a message, that can be passed down with stories being told. And that's legacy. And that's not what's happening now. So it's a little disenchanting, but I'm praying one day we can get back to some type of normalcy because it's out of control. And with that being said, when you can't find a job as a rapper, you're going to need to come talk to her and get you a resume and stop playing. Get yourself a job. Tam Tips is here. Resumes by Tam on Instagram.
So Samantha helped me with the topic today.
I
really had
that's a week 5.
The brain wasn't working. So I asked her what is something that she would want to know that maybe I haven't covered before on the show or haven't spoke with her about just in our regular conversation. And she said, how often or how many times should you contact the person that you interviewed with after the interview? So I think that's a good question. I thought I touched on it, but I probably did. So we're going to answer it. So immediately, or at least within the first 24 hours after you have an interview, you should definitely send a thank you note.
Yeah.
Basically just thanking them for the opportunity to come because at this point, it's very hard to get an interview. So if you make it to that, you want to at least shoot them a little message like, thank you so much for your time. Remember, maybe touch on something that you guys may have spoken about that didn't exactly have anything to do about the job, and then reiterate that you're interested. And then after that, you might want to wait, unless they told you you'll hear from me in this amount of time or this day or whatever. If they don't say anything like that, then after your thank you note within the first 24 hours, you might want to wait 2 to 3 days, send a follow-up. After that, another 2 to 3 days, give or take, you'll call. After that, leave it. Just don't even, because you're gonna drive yourself crazy, and you don't need to do that. And also, when you are interviewing, that is not code for stop looking. Continue to apply, continue to do interviews, line up as many as you can. Do not just sit on one interview and just be feeling like you got it in the bag, because if you interview somewhere else, they may offer you more money. They may have a better situation for you where you can, I don't know, advance in your career faster or whatever. You want to make sure you always have options, because you matter. You're the person doing the work. You're the person who's got to be there all freaking day. So you want to make sure that you have options and you interview them back, which I know I've spoken about that before. So again, immediately after or within the first 24 hours, you want to send a thank you note. 2 to 3 days after that, you follow up via email. 2 to 3 days after that, you call. After that, just leave it. That's it. And that's the tip.
That's the 10 tip. That's the 10 tip. I have a question, 10 tip. If a person has like their own company, should they put that on their resume?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No matter what the company is.
No. It's your show. I mean, your stuff. Yeah, you should put it on.
Do you feel like that would deter an employer from hiring?
It can, but in my experience, it's better to weed out the ones who don't want you how you are.
Hallelujah.
So if they can't accept the fact that you've already been a business owner, that's not the place for you. Because it's going to become an issue at some point down the line. If they do say, okay, I guess, but are you going to be able to focus on your task here, or can you follow direction? And anybody knows any part of being a leader, you have to be able to be a student as well. So yes, put your business on your resume.
That's a word. I wanted to know that because, I think...
Yeah, I remember I think I told you I did my father's resume not too long ago, and he's working. Now, he's had his own multiple companies since I was a kid. This is his first time having a job in so many years, over 10 years.
Wow.
And he has a job now, so...
Shout out to him.
Skills is on point.
Now, because that's another big thing, gap years and what were you doing?
What were you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so. I was running shit. That's what I was doing.
Uh-oh.
I mean, it just is what it is. And you can't, I don't think you should downplay yourself. That's an accomplishment. Everybody can't run a business. Everybody can't start a business. Everybody don't have that. So you can say that, you can twist it in a way that'll work for you, where you're like, I'm resourceful, I'm this, I'm that, because I have successfully ran for X amount of years. But I don't think you should leave it off. I do not think that.
Okay. That's your 10 tip. Word. That's good. So do you have anything for us? Millennial? While she's searching.
No, I know.
What? No.
For Miami.
Y'all can, you
For
ready?
Miami
Okay.
too, the album, the cross album.
Oh,
right
yeah,
now. How
uh-huh.
do you feel about it?
Well, you're supposed to be saying how
How do you
you feel
feel
about it.
about it? I'm just saying what I found and what you feel about it.
I felt it was alright. I don't think it was worthy of being part of Miami too. I think it should have just been called another album. I gotta listen to it again for like the third time, but I don't know. It's just not. I don't feel like it's a Ross album.
Well, they said he's trying to get out of this deal, right?
So if that's the case, yeah, he should. What I think he should have did, he should have just did the album and then followed up with the new deal with Port of Miami too.
Right.
Because that was the album that put him on. That was his first album.
So you were disappointed. You sound disappointed.
Yeah, I wasn't too impressed. It was a song. It was a song on the that I had seen that he premiered when Brona and Pacquiao was fighting during 24/7, and I thought that song was gonna be on the album and it didn't make it, so I was just like And then Maybach Music, he had John Legend and Lil Wayne, and
he's very upset about that.
Yeah, I just felt I felt Nipsey should have been on that instead of the other song that he was on, because Nipsey always talked about his Maybach. Yeah. So I think that would have been like a classic song instead of the other song. Is nice that he has with Nipsey, but I think it could have been the artist placement on this album could have been better.
Okay.
That's it.
And online.
Well, how'd you feel about it?
It wasn't too bad for me because I'm not like a music person. So I mean,
Ooh, to her.
I am, but I'm not like a lyricist. I guess you.
Because you're not from New York. She's from New York.
So I mean, it was like a couple songs that I like, but I guess coming from Moose, since he's like really, really deep.
And then Ross is an artist that I really like, so that's what happened. So it was just like
I heard the album.
And then the first album came out 2006, so I was younger, so I liked it, and then I don't know. But online, it didn't get bad reviews online though. It got a 3.5.
Is not good.
Out of 5.
Right, it's like middle.
Not for
the
the
worst, but it's not for not for Ross. Ross, he's like a
he should be
4.5.
Yeah.
You know, because
did he at least maintain his reputation for good riding music? Like, no.
Well, it's okay. You know what? I tried to. What did they say?
They were saying that it was like balls album. So I mean, everyone I guess kind of got different vibes from it, but.
Well, what I do like, because I love riding music, even though I can't drive anymore. So what I did was, me and Andre was driving down in Edgewater, Rappers Row, shout out, in Jersey, and I put on Big Time, and I wanted to see if it made me feel like I had money and I was living big time. I turned it off. Like, he said Big Time too much. Like, I was like, I turned it up. It sounded okay, but it's like he didn't have enough words for the song, and he said that too many times, and I was disappointed. That's what made me disappointed.
I felt that way. It wasn't enough. It was just big time, big time.
Yeah.
And then you got Swiss screaming on the song.
And
Swiss is normally.
Give them this
it was like I'm gonna say when Prince did Emancipation, but nobody wants to hear 40 songs. Like, I don't care who you are. Nobody want to hear that many songs. He doesn't have that many songs on his album, but you can tell when the artist is like just through the label and they want to put out something so they can move on, and that's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah, that's why I said it shouldn't.
He did that with Nipsey on it.
Yeah, that song is pretty okay.
That song is nice. That song is hot.
Yeah.
I like that song. I just felt maybe he could have did that song and he could have put Nipsey on Maybach Music. Yeah. But from what I heard, he said this is probably like a month before the album came out. He was doing an interview with
No, let's go. I don't care who's doing an interview. He wasn't talking to us.
No, I'm saying he was doing an interview with the two people, and he was saying that the album, the song Maybach Music was gonna. He said the collabs that's on the people that's on there was just put on there so strategically and
that
just hype the song up. Not two
because
people
it's the
that been on the
people,
song.
and if you think about it, him putting like John, like people don't think of John Legend being on like rap albums. So at this point of his career, because right now he's like, the singer, like he's crossed over. And Lil Wayne is bigger than he was, they're all iconic at this point. And so I guess in that way he's thinking like this is some exclusive stuff, only I can do that. I can get these two particular people back on the same song that they did years ago. I think that's, as an artist, that's probably what he thought he was recreating a moment.
I think you're reaching for that.
You think I'm reaching?
Yep.
Ooh.
I think
shots fired.
That was a terrible idea putting those two. At least
what do you think,
Lil Wayne off.
I didn't even hear it.
She looking like, I'm tired.
Take Wayne off. Like you got a lot of. He didn't have JayZ on the album.
Well, maybe he couldn't get JayZ on the album. Speaking of JayZ, that's a nice segue. Thank you. Well, we ain't gonna stay there long, but the argument with the NFL and JayZ and him telling Jermaine Dupri and telling the other kid Travis Scott last year not to perform at the halftime show, and him kind of just dancing around stuff. This is what I want to say about people that are so like butthurt over JayZ making power moves. This is what he's gonna do. This is what he has to do. People act like you can make these millions and millions of dollars and you don't have to do anything for them. You're not an independent person. Independent artists are broke. Okay, that's just it. The struggle, they pay their bills, and they can say whatever they want to because they only let you reach a certain amount of people. Before algorithms, they did that in human form. So now with computers, it makes it all the more easy to control what kind of information gets out. So I feel like he's just doing what JayZ has to do at this point of his career if he wants to still have business and still wants to be owners and things. He has to agree to do certain things. So I'm not like, I don't care because I don't put that much into JayZ. JayZ is not going to pay my mortgage this month. You know, he's not going to come and save the kids in Harlem and the Bronx. And he's not doing that. He's not even doing that in Marcy. So you can't expect for him to be the savior. Him and Beyonce are not our king and queen. You know, we could call them kings and queens because that's what we all are. But collectively, they're looking out for their bottom line, which is their family, their self. So that's it. So he's just doing what any businessman would do. He got presented with a sweet deal and he's taking it. Mm-hmm. And my only thing is, who the hell who said that the Gucci band was off? Who said that kneeling? He's saying that that's over with. Like, who said it was over with taking a knee? I don't care about taking a knee anyway because I don't think that does anything anyway. The last thing I want to do is kneel to my master. I want to stand. So I never understood the whole kneeling thing. Like, I would just simply turn my back when they start saying the national anthem. But kneeling and taking a knee for, like, I never understood why I'm getting on my knees for. As black people, we've been on our knees for too long begging for stuff. So I'm just going to turn my back. However, it's not on one person to say this is over. Like, so if you are taking a knee, if you are boycotting Gucci and doing all these things, do what you do. Nobody's supposed to tell you when it's over. It's over when you say it's over, and it starts when you say it starts. So all these fake protests and stuff like that, I just don't get involved in it. They make no sense.
It's a waste of time.
It is. And
those things are going to happen anyway.
That's right.
It's the way of the world.
You tell them, mama. That's that elder wisdom, you know? So I want to just read a little excerpt out of my book before I go. And this is part of the book that Johnny McCann, he gonna kill me from having McCann is a part of. So it's called Keep On Moving, Don't Stop. Why do you think nomads kept moving around? They went towards their opportunity and refused to wait for it to come around again because they knew their lives depended on it. Take the steps needed for your breakthrough, for it is closer than you think. You have been walking towards your purpose all along. As one of Harlem's beloved pastors, Johnny G. McCann, preaches, the passion is in the pursuit, and it remains that way. Continue to speak life into your dreams and goals. Talk about them openly with your friends and family. Oftentimes we get so hung up on saying things like, I don't want to jinx it. I'm not going to tell anybody because they might steal my idea. Or I won't tell anyone because the truth is, you all need a hater or two. Uh-huh. You need a hater. You need people. You need to put the fire underneath people's butts. You need to stop being in the company of people that don't like you. And you don't have to worry about that. When you're creative, and this is what I talked about earlier about church and it being a safe space. Everyone there is praying for something. Right? And that's the one place ain't nobody worried about. I'm talking about during church. I ain't talking about what happens afterwards. A lot of stuff going on in church afterwards. But I'm talking about when we're in prayer mode. Everybody is in there praying for something that they want. Right? You should be around people that have that constant state of prayer. Because guess what? I wake up praying for people I don't even know. I'm like, why am I praying for this person? Because if something good happens for this person, I pray for my kids' friends. I pray for her family. I pray for her family. I don't even know all their family. Why? I pray for their families because if something good happens for their family, it'll trickle down to them and it'll trickle up to us. And that's just the way it works. Blessings flow. So I'm always praying for people that are connected to the people that I love directly because I want to see them all in a good space. So we got to stop surrounding ourselves with people that don't like us. And if it means that you're lonely, if it means that you're not around, that you have to search for your tribe, that's what you need to do. But then you won't have to say, oh, then I got some haters around me. People be posting stuff on Facebook, and Facebook is primarily for your friends and family. So they be saying stuff like, you know, the haters is looking. So who you talking to? The people that you really know and love? Like, that's dumb. Stop it. So I read that excerpt because he preached about pushing past your doubters. And the passion being, I don't know if he talked about the passion is in the pursuit, but that's how you do it. We have to start looking at life as an action word. You have to do it. Nike was something else in him when we just do it, because that's what it is. You just have to live it and experience it. I was having a conversation with my brother the other day, and I've been out of work for 6 years. And I've been, you know, going through all these different little challenges or whatever with health and whatnot. And I said, damn, if I would have known 6 years would have went by so fast, I would have not complained so much, or I wouldn't have worried so much. Because look, we're still here. The bills still got paid. Yahweh made a way. And I'm complaining every single day. Not really complaining, but worrying every day about what's going to happen, when my breakthrough is coming, when the miracle is going to happen, Hope Nation, everything that I write about, I believe. But it's like, how long am I going to have to wait? But sometimes you can't think about it. You just got to experience life in its fullness. When you go to parties for your family members, don't go there worrying about the next day. Live in that moment. Laugh with your family, hug your family, love your family, because you don't know if you're going to get a moment like that again. The last time we saw Pastor McCann, we were at a funeral for someone we've known mostly all my life, and we didn't even know who was going to be preaching the funeral. And we saw him there, and we took pictures, and he told people that we was his family. And, we just had, and for that brief moment in time, we enjoyed each other. Even though we was there for a sad occasion, we was having fun. We taking pictures. I think we pissed some people off, because it was not that funny. We had a funeral. But we were laughing, and, and so we enjoyed him. And I'm so grateful that Yahweh made that moment possible, because that's the last time we saw him. That was July 2nd. I believe it was July 2nd, and that was the last time we saw him in the physical form alive. And I'm grateful that we took the time to say, I don't care what's going on around us, we gonna celebrate and love on each other, and that's what we did, and that's what we gotta do. So I know bills gotta get paid, I know you worry or whatever, but when you with your kids, experience your children. When you with your elders, experience them. Don't be worried about what's gonna happen next, because guess what? None of us have to be here the next day. And now all your worries are gone, So live life to the fullest. One of the quotes that Pastor McCann loved so much was, live full, die empty. Do all of that.
And if you don't quit, you'll make it.
Hallelujah. And you will. So, thank you, Mom. See, we're talking that church thing. She perked up. I just want to thank you all for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Please share this video with other people. And share the page. And follow me on Instagram, FriendInYourPocket on Instagram. And if you want to email me, you have questions, FriendInYourPocket@AOL.com. And I will post your questions on the podcast. And that's our time, guys. I love you all. Mwah.